When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Hashtag no music, no intro, no voice. What? Oh man! Like I know we got to talk about the game. We're gonna recap the game. The Saints not allowing the Raiders to score a single point to 3-5. We were there to witness it. We were there to witness Peyton Turner. He has his name back for at least this week.
Peyton Turner
going off, having 2 sacks, like we jokingly predicted last week, and then laughed at the notion that it would happen. Marcus Davenport picking up Devontae Adams like a little baby and throwing him down. we gonna recap it all, but the first place I have to start is I can't really even express or put into words how amazing this weekend was. I can't do it, man.
Word.
I flew in on Thursday, but got there later on Thursday. But essentially, Friday to this morning, Monday, Halloween, the amount of people we interacted with, we partied with, we were in the city with. I've never experienced anything like that. I do want to give the most sincerest appreciation and gratitude to Elise and her husband Ben.
No question.
For allowing us opening up their home to essentially 24 fucking strangers. Like, think about that, right? 24 people, man, or 23 people that you've never met before.
Right.
And you're sharing your address with them, opening your home to us. And we had about, I think I counted earlier, about 27, 28 people was the final count of the VIP party on Saturday night. And everyone just had a good time. And
good time.
And it's just like, God, we've built this. Like this, and it's it still hasn't sinked in yet. I was wearing our podcast merchandise T-shirt around New Orleans. 2 people said, "Hey, man, I was in the podcast. Big fan. Keep doing what you're doing." Like that's wild, man. Like that. It doesn't make it happen on Frenchman, and it happened near Allen's tailgate before the game.
That's wild.
I'm gonna say this. So this was the first annual VIP get together. This is gonna be a thing we're doing every year. If for no other reason to become a Patreon, even if you can't attend things in person, please believe when we say on this podcast that the community we have built and are continuing to build, whether it be Discord or whatever, is I really feel like it's the place to be because it's easy to say that beforehand, but now that we've experienced it in person, the connectivity, the how easygoing everyone is, and just can have a conversation about anything. Like, yeah, we got together because of the Saints. Like, yeah, that's what brought us together, but that's not the reason. Like, they're not like the driving force of like what makes the community what it is. So the fact that we had people come in from California, people come in from Utah, Pennsylvania, Florida, local people in Louisiana, local people in New Orleans, Alex and Michael from London.
Man. And they just stole the show.
Oh, as always. As always.
As always.
I knew what was in store because I met them a couple of weeks ago in London.
Right.
I was well aware of what was coming. It was truly an amazing. Me and Joey have talked about it, man. It's one of the best weekends I've had in my life. Like,
no question. No question.
I'm not saying that to hype it up. I'm not saying that to get people to pay money and become Patreons. I truly mean that with the bottom of my heart. Is one of the I don't have a voice. Is one of the best weekends I've had in my entire life. Me and Elise, I touched down back in California. Me and Elise were already texting about next year, bruh. Texting about it.
Let's go.
I said, you know what? I said next year I want T-shirts. I want to have T-shirts. Everyone at the party gets the second annual hashtag Sing Sort of Podcast T-shirt. So everyone who showed up, everyone who came, I'm not going to try to name everybody because I don't want to miss anyone out. Anyone and everyone who either supports us but couldn't be there, because I know there's a lot of people who wanted to be there. Daniel, Mitch, I know that the list is extensive. Thank y'all for your support. Like, this weekend just reinforced what Ryan and I do. And it's like we gotta keep doing it. We gotta keep going. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'll let you add anything that you might want to add, and then we'll talk about what happened on Sunday.
No, man, like me and my wife talked about it. She was like, everybody's just so positive. It was just such a good vibe, and that's the perfect description for it. The vibes were just positive. Wasn't no, bickering, no negative attitudes, nothing. Everybody was just cool, man. It just shows how, you put out the right energy come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love it, bro. I love it, man. I was in awe. Like when we was walking down Poitras after the Superdome, after the game, man, I haven't done that since I was like a teenager. With everybody,
right.
Elise and Ben and Joey, and, his girl, everybody was just walking down. I'm like, man, this is it. This is it right here, bro.
It's it, man. It's it.
I love it, bro.
The feeling of well, you were a little late, but the feeling of like all of us walking up the stairs to the Superdome, man, and had the whole group. Max, shout out to Max. He had a great idea. I didn't pull it off because I didn't want to be carrying around the sign all Sunday.
Oh yeah.
He's like, y'all should take the banner that was signed and then just hold it up and take a picture in front of the Superdome with the banner, and each year do it as the community continues to grow. Great idea. Didn't want to carry that fucking banner.
The logistics of the situation.
My throat hurts, right? I can't even make me laugh like that. That's all I want to say on it. But if you're interested, become a Patreon, even if it's just $1 a month. Because I am truly 100% behind what we're building. I also want to give a quick appreciation to my girl Jay, who she kind of let me do my thing this weekend, and was like knew how important this weekend was, and the amount of support and how patient she's been with me doing this. I work super hard with my normal career being a social worker, and then I get home and and I'm doing this a couple of days out of the week. But I do want to give a shout out for appreciation to everything that she kind of standing by my side and helping us build. Okay, we got to get into it.
I just want one more shout out, bro. Shout out to
Go
you,
ahead.
man. Shout out to you. You did a lot of the footwork, making it happen, putting together the, dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
The logistics.
The logistics, like the real logistics. Shout out to you, man. You really made that happen. Working with the leagues, trying to figure everything out. Being the point man, any question anybody had that came to you, they asked me. I'm like, ask Adam, bro. I don't know. What time? I don't know. So shout out to you, man. You did a real good job of organizing the whole thing. Set up the catering, Blue Oak. Shout out to Blue Oak. Food
Man,
was
shout out to
awesome.
Blue Oak. Man, I'm not even a pulled pork person, really,
I'm
bro.
not at all, bro. I'm not at all.
I'm not either, because usually it's too dry, but like it with
That
the
shit.
sauce on it,
Oh, that shit was good, bro.
and bruh, the queso from Superior Grill, nigga. Ooh,
I'm so pissed I ain't getting none, bro.
you didn't get no
Yeah,
queso, bro?
I did get the queso. I'm tripping. I didn't get the one with the ground meat in it. Was
Yeah,
that
you
the-
did. That was the queso.
Oh, that was it.
That was, yeah, that was it.
That shit was amazing, bro. I was eating that shit cold. You hear me?
It was delicious, bro. Anyway, I appreciate it, man. I wanted this weekend to be special for everybody. Also, a quick shout out to Alan. So, a whole big group of us went to Alan's tailgate before the game. It was super inviting. Had food. We all make sure we donated to the hashtag Tailgating Together cause that he's doing for the transient population in New Orleans. So big shout out to Alan. Everything about the weekend was great. And as I was walking up the Superdome, what did I say on this podcast last week? We're on the preview show. I said, if there was one game, I needed one game. I said, give us the Raiders game, football gods. Give us this Raiders game to cap this weekend, and I'm good. Now, I'm not saying I won't, now the team can lose the rest of the games of the season. I'm going to be okay with that. But I wanted everyone with us to experience the feeling of New Orleans after a win, the feeling of leaving the Superdome after a win. I have not, thanks for Max for clarifying exactly a year, I think it was Eric. I have not seen the Saints win a game in the Superdome before Sunday. The last game was 2013 against the Cardinals. 2013, that's 9 years ago. But you know what, bitches? The streak ended on Sunday. Ended. I was in person, watched the game. They won. Joey was saying on Friday, he said they're going to win, bruh. And I said, you know what? I believe you. I said, I feel it. There's something about this weekend. I feel it. He said they're going to win by 2. He said they're going to win by 2 scores. And I couldn't go 2. I said, I'll give you 6.
I don't know about all that.
I said, I'll give you 6. He said he was confident all weekend that they were going to win by 2 scores. They shut out the Raiders 24-0. Let's talk about this game and what it can mean for the season going forward. Does it change your impression of the season? It was the first game all season where they played complete games in all 3 phases, except for a missed fucking field goal with Will Lutz, which is a little concerning. But besides that hiccup, all 3 phases, offense, defense, the penalties were drastically reduced and cut down. And I think defensively was the thing that kind of surprised me the most, because the Raiders had gone on this streak the last couple of weeks of being one of the better offenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
Run game was cooking. Derek Carr is playing pretty decently. And Josh McDaniels had kind of was putting his imprint on that Raiders offense. For them not to score 3 points, for them not to even get past the Saints territory until that final garbage time drive, you kind of saw it off the bat, right? There was this energy to the defense that felt like we hadn't really seen all season.
No question, bro. And I think that was That was one of the major differences in the game. Just the defense, doing the simple things defenses need to do to be successful. Tackling. They didn't let Josh Jacobs get going. They just kept him bottled up. Yeah, he had like 4.3 yards per carry, but he didn't bust one. They kept him behind the chains. They gang tackled. The pass rush was there. Even, and what was great was you saw the coverage work with the pass rush very well, because there were times like Derek Carr, he did have time to throw, man, but there was just nothing there. There was just nothing there. It was blanket coverage. No big busts in the secondary. It was just a nice, clean game. It was the game I've been waiting to see all season. Like, I just wanted to see, can these dudes put together 4 quarters of a game? Like, even in the Saints, under Sean Payton, even in some of the down years, the 79 years, they'll have 2 or 3 primetime games where they look like gangbusters, and it's like, okay, maybe they turn it around, I haven't seen that yet this year until this past Sunday. And, we'll see where it leads, but we just looking at this game, and give flowers to them, man, because it got to that point where it was coming to a head, bro. Like last week after the Cardinals game, Mario Davis came out with like a 7-minute speech at the presser, and, just trying to get the team up. Alvin Kamara, he's trying to take on a leadership role, man. He's trying to get guys going. You could tell this team was really chomping at the bit, over this mini bye to try to correct things. And even, like I told my Triplet talking about, and Nick Underhill talking about like how the defense, the past couple of weeks, they really didn't have an answer as to why they were playing the way they were playing. And then this week you kind of saw where they figured out the problem, and they were just kind of like, okay, we know what we need to do. We just got to do it. And I think that was just one of the cases where they just came out and executed, man. Came out and executed and played their game defensively. And I think that's the major difference in the game, because offensively, they have improved week to week, but they did need to clean up the turnovers. And,
right.
I mean, Andy Dalton, I think he had 1 or 2 turnover-worthy pro throws.
Yes,
I think that's part of the life, with Andy Dalton, or with James. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a part of life, not having a franchise quarterback. But you're gonna get those throws. But for the most part, they played just clean offensively. And look what happens, man. You get a nice, comfortable win.
Wasn't like, besides maybe like the early parts of the game, man. Even at halftime, they went in what? It was 17-0 at halftime, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because Will Lutz had missed that field goal. Getting back to the defense and giving flowers. I don't know what kibosh, or maybe it's a reverse kibosh, that me and you have like put on 2nd-round draft picks the last 2 seasons that the Saints have drafted. But whatever that shit is, it is the exact opposite of what we think. Pete Werner. He's one of the best young linebackers in the league. I said it with my chest.
No question.
There were some plays, and there was one tackle, a couple of plays he made. Like, and I've seen him play in person twice now, in London and yesterday. And some of the plays he makes are just special linebacker plays, man. He drops in coverage. He puts his hands up, leads to an interception. There's a play he makes where Josh Jacobs pretty much gets through the traffic and is going towards his left, and there's nothing in front of him. And Pete Werner basically is kind of like has him one-on-one in an island. And if he doesn't make that tackle, bro, Josh Jacobs is going for like maybe a. You're
talking about where like Pete Werner's like scraping, just coming across. He's just like to work through traffic like that, bro. That was beautiful. I saw exactly what you was talking about. And he just scraping across the line and boom, just takes him out. You know what I'm saying? Just a form tackle. It's like, oh man, that's a hard tackle to make, bro. People
it's a hard tackle to make, man.
It's a hard tackle. A lot of players miss that tackle. And that's just him, man. Like, even, end of the game and finish the game off.
Right. He finished the game.
It's like, bang, like, okay, that's my linebacker right there.
And I started it in London. and he was making plays all over the field in London. And every time he makes a play, man, I'd say he clock in and clock out. Like that's just Pete, bro.
just Pete, bro. Just doing work.
He's gonna give you 8 hours. If the job needs a little mandatory overtime, he's there. He just clock in, clock out. Just you can dependable Pete. And also want to give flowers to Alontae Taylor.
Oh yeah,
who we didn't like the pick in the second round. It didn't make sense to us, and not just you and me. I think like just the Saints fan base as a whole was just like, man, like third, fourth round, like really. And as much shit as we have, and probably will continue to give them about not retaining good secondary players because it's just I don't know, but they sure know how to fucking scout them. Maybe not like scout them in terms of college players. No about NFL players, but they can identify traits in players in college, whether it be cornerback, safety, and I think it goes directly to Jeff Ireland, Alontae Taylor. And like a game and a half because he only played like half a game. Well, he played half a game against the Bucks. Game and a half that game. Played
well,
game.
got hurt.
Oh, he played against the Cardinals too. So sorry, he played like 2.5 games. But there were times where he was just locked up man to man on Devontae Adams, top 3, whatever, top 3, 5, 2, whatever you want to rank him.
Wild one.
It was right, and he was 1-on-1. Some of them he had safety help over the top, and some of the plays he didn't. And he was just sticky, bruh. Like to see that like in person.
And there's a certain style of corners I like, and he's one of those players that kind of long, annoying, like very annoying to wide receivers, where they just kind of constantly nudging you and punching you, and they're big. So they're very annoying cornerbacks. I love players like that. He's very long and he gets in there. He's a physical tackler. I love quarterbacks like that, man. It's like definitely my type of cornerback. And I just want to see, I want to see him continue to keep building. I'm not going to make any projections, the way he is, started this and that. But man, like he's putting together a nice resume. It's, cornerback one of the toughest positions to play, period. Let's not even talk about it as a rookie. So for him to come in there and kind of get thrown into the fire, dealt with a couple of injuries, and to look good so far, man, it says a lot. Because right now, his head just spinning. He don't know what he's doing. He's just playing. Wait till he actually learns, all the the intricacies of playing cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a talented dude, nice speed, man. Shats out to Jeff Ireland. Like we will shit on them for a lot of stuff. But they figure out those DBs, bro. I give them that.
They do.
At least in the draft.
Yeah. Also, it's just little things like that you like to see sometimes. Because I think it kind of tells you something about the team. Is on one of the plays where Alontae Taylor, calls an incomplete pass to Devontae Adams. You see Mike Thomas on the sideline, just going crazy and hyping it up. And I just think that shows. It shows a lot about the team because the team's 3-5, and there's been a lot of shit that's going wrong this season. We've been the first to tell y'all most of the shit that's going wrong this season, but to just see that kind of just shows that internally the team is still like together,
right?
And shit like that picture. I know it's like just a picture, but like I think pictures like that matter.
I think so. I think that's why it was such a popular picture to retweet and everything. Because there was a lot of just talking. Every time Mike is out, there's all these talks. Does he want to play this and that? I'm like, man, I saw all I needed to see week 1 this year. When he was back in the game and MT caught the touchdowns and he was just foaming at the mouth, just happy to be out there, bro. I have no questions about him wanting to play for the Saints. You know what I'm saying?
Psychopath, bro.
He's a psychopath, man. Come on. Now, it's really just been unfortunate for him, bro. Really just bad luck. You can't even figure it out. Just some bad-ass luck. But for him to be out there chanting, rooting everybody on, and just, I think the DNA of this team, I think DA is dependent on it, man. The leadership that they construed together, the talent, he's dependent on them to kind of build themselves back up and, save their season some kind of way. And, we'll see going forward. But I think what we saw this weekend was them kind of coaching themselves in a way as far as like, hey, we know what we got to do to win. We know what they know what winning football looks like. We know what winning football looks like. Let's just go out there and execute it.
Was it them coaching them, or did Sean come in for a week?
I would love, man. I need a source. I need somebody. Tell me what was Sean doing? Like, what?
Can we talk about that just for a hot second of how kind of weirdly inappropriate it is that he was at the team facility last week?
Like he could theoretically be coaching the Panthers next year. Theoretically.
Right.
And he just hanging out at the team facility, just downloading the fucking download emails and shit like that.
I have a theory. Me and Joey were talking about it when the Saints were on offense on Sunday, bro. We're like, oh, this is about to be Sean's first 15 plays. Pete's first 15, bro.
I could just see Sean dapping off Pete, and he got like the little sheet in his hand, the little hand to hand, like, here you go, Pete, I got you, baby.
I say that kind of jokingly, but I also kind of say that like not jokingly. Like maybe all it was he came to the team and he like gave him like a pep talk or like something to like rally the troops, which is one weird, right?
Man,
and then two,
that's some cook shit. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's my second point. If you DA, what the fuck did that say about you, bro? Like, I would bet
your girl in the corner just getting broke.
It's like the mad real world, bro. What the Haiti.
Get broke off in the bed.
I would bet. I'm not a betting person by nature. I would bet a large sum of money that Sean spoke to the team and addressed the team this past week or last weekend. I bet a large amount of money on it. I'm not saying this as someone who knows something or has sources, but when I heard that, I was like, that's weird, man. Like, that's weird. I don't care what anyone says. That's weird. Like, it worked though. It worked.
It did, bro. It did.
They played on Sunday like a Saints team
from years past.
Yeah, that Sean has gotten up in years past.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Like, even if you look at Dalton's stat line, it looked like a quintessential Breeze stat line. 74% completion percentage, 200-something yards, 2 touchdowns, just like your quintessential Drew Brees game.
No, bro. I think something happened last week, bro. I really do.
Start zooming in. Zoom.
Could you imagine though? Like, what if something like that did happen last week, and like that's like the ultimate, like power move, like in contract talks, bro. Like I came in for 1 week, y'all had won 2 games all season. Came in 1 week, y'all shut out team 0-24. You like, Mickey, you need to Gail $35 million a year, $35 million. Make it happen.
And a percentage of the team. I want a percentage of ownership.
Wouldn't that's some power shit. Anyway, sticking with the defense, real quick. You talked about the secondary. The Saints had 4 or 5 sacks on Derek Carr, and being at the game, I really felt that a lot of those sacks. Sorry, y'all. Y'all want to know how? And I know I talk about being emotionally disconnected, and I am, because I don't let the losses affect me at all. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a Saints fan. So my hoarse voice is because I was yelling at the top of my fucking lungs yesterday in the Superdome when the Saints were on defense, because it was just a whole experience, because all of us were in the same section together. It was me, you, Joey, Amanda, Elise, and Ben sat in the poverty section with us just because we were up there. Like they got some nice ass fucking seats in the Superdome, bruh. Season tickets, and they were sitting with us. Bunch, Bo, Chris, like all of us were. Like Julio was just a couple of rows down, and his brother Javier. All of us were together, and like it just felt like, I don't know, man, like family. And so we being emotionally detached and not emotionally invested is one thing, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be in the Superdome and the Saints are playing and I'm just going to be sitting sitting down with sitting down with my
hell
hands.
no.
No, like that will never happen. So I just want people to understand that you can be a fan of a team but still not be like attached to all like the heartache and the losses they bring. I just want to make that clear. That's what. So people wondering why my voice is so hoarse and I don't have a voice. That's excuse me. That's precisely the reason. But getting back to the sacks, watching the game in person, I felt like a lot of those sacks you kind of mentioned it were like coverage sacks, man. Because Derek Carr didn't have nowhere to go with the ball.
Nowhere to go, bro.
And like he only had like a certain number of time, and then that time ran out because Peyton fucking Turner was making plays yesterday, bro.
I know.
Fucking Turner.
I know Derek Carr was like, who is this guy?
Let him start for what? Man said he wasn't even in the game plan. He wasn't
Like,
in the scouting report.
I didn't even write his name down. Damn.
98.
Yeah. Fuck this
Bro,
guy come from?
The D-Lines video that you quote tweeted,
Bruh.
man, I was like, who? What? And anyone who listens to this podcast, and I had to tweet something about it. Listen, if you're a Saints player and you play like shit, we're not the only fucking people that talk bad about players when they're not playing well. Everyone in the media, whether it be the Saints, any person that covers football or a sports team, if you're a player and you play like shit, you're gonna hear from everybody, right? That's just the game. But when you play well, you're gonna hear it too.
Yeah.
And so as long as we've done this podcast, when players have stunk it up, we're gonna fucking call it out. When players fucking do well, we call that shit out too. So we giving all the flowers to fucking Peyton Turner. He got his name back for a week. I know his mom probably wants to tweet at me and say, now what, nigga? Now what? Say something now. And saying all that to say this and making and having a transition, I feel like we gotta talk about Cesar Ruiz some more, bro.
Bruh. That's what I tweeted earlier. It was like the players that we've been down on the most, man, they be coming to shine, bruh.
You tweeted it, Brad. Like I think the whole locker room listened to the Saints Twitter podcast this weekend, bro. They had to listen, bro. It's not everybody on the team. At least half of the niggas listen to the podcast, bro.
Somebody.
That shit was ridiculous, bro. That
shit was ridiculous.
Didn't make no sense.
They said, "Oh, these niggas in the building today." All right.
I got something for him.
Watch.
Cesar Ruiz. The way he's trending.
I mean, he looking like the 20th.
I'm saying, nigga.
Top 20th, the 20th guard in the league, bro. Caesar, bro, was ready to get him out of here this offseason.
Out of here, bro. I wanted him cut in training camp, Brian. Cut. Want him out of here. And that's, I think, as fans, we're all guilty of this.
Oh,
especially for players who are drafted in round one. To be fair, I think I was a lot harder on the players that the Saints drafted in the first round, whether it be Caesar or Peyton Turner, was because the team of how it was constructed was not constructed to draft a player in the first round that was going to take time to develop.
Right.
Like you needed those players in the at the time the window was open. Those players need to be like out the fucking gate, gangbusters, ready to contribute. A lot of time in NFL and in football, that just doesn't happen. So Caesar developing has been an absolute pleasant surprise this season. I think you said it perfectly. You joked about him being, just wanted him to be the 29th overall guard in the league. He's trending towards like the 20s. Looking like a good guard, bro. Like I hesitate to say good, but
good fucking guard, bro.
The offensive line as a whole has played tremendously better these last couple of games.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Ramczyk, who has given up quite a few pressures this season, has completely took out Max Crosby out the game, bro. Shut him down.
I mean, that's what we worried about going into this game was the pass rush.
Talked about it.
Pass rush of the Raiders, bro, and it was non-existent.
No, Andy Dalton had time to throw. And I don't know if I should be giving credit to Pete Carmichael or Sean Payton.
Man, give Pete his little flowers, bro. Pete,
okay.
Pete bananas, Pete.
But our complaints, excuse me, at times about this offense is not sticking to what works. 41 when healthy should be getting the ball.
Period.
7 should be getting the ball. You sprinkle in some 12. And I'm not going to say that's it, because obviously there's other players, on the team, but due to injuries or whatever. But like that is the core of the offense of how it is right now with all the injuries. It's 41 at 7 and it's 12. Period. So the fact that yesterday they leaned so heavily on 41 and 7 is like, keep doing that shit.
Yes.
Keep doing it. Like it's not hard, right? And then you're gonna get 89. I'm glad that he was actually like getting fucking more snaps and not his. I don't know. I haven't seen the snap count, but not his usual fucking 10 plays and he's fucking done. Keep going to him. And we saw that yesterday against the Raiders. It's like I said, it's not hard. So to see them kind of sticking with that game plan was good. And god damn, seeing 41 play in person when he has his special games, man, there's nothing like it, man.
And he needed those touchdowns, bro. Like I was like, there's no reason AK shouldn't have like multiple touchdowns and shit, bro. Like you look at, he's been one of the most scoring players in history. Like he has 71 touchdowns as a Saints player.
It's insane.
Right behind Colston, most in Saints history. Like that's just insane, bro. And, it took Colston some time to get up there. I mean, I know, Kamara plays a different position, but still, like, bro, that's just wild to me, man. And I like, a lot of talk been going on past 2 weeks about, trading Kamara and stuff like that. And I get it. If you come with an offer they can't refuse, obviously you got to make that move. But man, he's a player I just want to keep
and build around
and build, and build with. Like you win with players like that. What's the chances you trade him and you get a 5-time Pro Bowler, All Pro running back that can catch passes and be a deadly, mismatch on the field on all plays? Like it's just the chances of that are very unlikely. And what he's costing you, like 11 per a year? It's like just keep him. There's no reason, just keep him. You know what I'm saying?
The only way I would probably trade him, and at this point, it's funny because I think, this is a question I'll wait for. The only way I would trade him is that if they were getting a first rounder back, if their plan is we're going to get a quarterback this offseason.
Exactly.
And
Like,
if that's
when
part
you
of
do
their,
it.
if that's part of their plan,
But we
don't
know
get
they
me
don't
wrong,
operate. They don't operate like that.
they don't. But if they did, like they would have to fucking get the quarterback right, because you can't trade AK and get a first, and the quarterback that you may either draft or the quarterback that you may either trade for ends up not being good, because then that's to me that's even worse than the Eagles draft pick situation right now.
Right.
But just seeing him play, like those two, the second touchdown and the third touchdown, that third touchdown, man, me and Joey both like the dome was just, me and Joey was jumping up in the air, like that feeling, just floating, Ryan, just floating. He's a special player. Of course, it's like, damn, like we can't get rid of Christian McCaffrey because we're gonna have to see him against the fucking 49ers game.
Right.
But seeing that, impressive. He didn't have like a huge game, but seeing how just smooth Chris Olave is, man, in person, like he's nasty, man.
He caught a pass. It was a nice throw from Dalton, man, just kind of up and over, and I don't know if Olave ran a hitch or something like that. He just plucked that ball and got to the sideline. It was just so going about your business, but it was like a huge play, and it was just going about your business like la. And I know he didn't have like a huge stat line, but man, that dude he's serious, bro. And when and if, they get healthy, whether it's Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, or just Mike Thomas, bro. Like he just gives you every level that you need in offense, man. Like he is so good.
It sounds like they may have Jarvis back against the Ravens. I don't know. This is the Raiders review. Can we just quickly talk about how asinine it is that like the Ravens have like a super team on defense, like right before you face them? Like, oh, let's trade for Roquan Smith. Oh, David Ajabo is going to be activated. Like, and he fell in the draft. Like, a story, a tale as old as time, Ryan.
Oldest time, bro.
Oldest.
It's like Devontae Adams, bro. Like, he's got the flu.
Well, I mean, shit, that nigga could have taken the sick day if he was going.
I'm saying he could have just stayed home.
Play like that. Sorry, y'all. I'm drinking some tea. Try to help my voice. Can we? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I feel like we owe it to our listeners to address every facet of the team. What is going on with Will Lutz?
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You prepared your kids for their first steps. The first day at school, their first dance, that big test, all the wins along the way. With a College Savings Iowa 529 plan, you'll prepare them for even more. Register before May 31st for a chance to win a $1,000 contribution. Visit collegesavingsiowa.com to make the first move toward a bright future. College Savings Iowa. It's how parents get through college. Administered by the State Treasurer of Iowa.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
just a lack of consistency. I don't know if it has anything to do with the operation or him or whatever. 'Cause I feel like his leg is outstanding right now. Like
I mean, I saw him kick the 61 yarder in fucking London. So
that's what I'm saying. Like his leg is fine. I just feel like it's just one of those. Maybe it's one of those operational things that they just because special teams has been a struggle, bro.
it has been, and it kind of just jumps out to me a little bit of like, I don't know if worried is the right word, but like,
I mean,
I don't
it's a
know.
kicker, bro. I hate it, man. I hate the kicking game because it's like, what do you don't know? Like we can't sit here with our X and O's hat on, like, oh,
we don't do X and O's.
No, we don't do that either way. But even if we did, it's like, right. He kicked the ball too hard. I don't know. It's a kicker. Like, kick the shit through the middle, bro. Like, I don't know. So I don't know, bro. Like, I have no idea. Like, just fix it. But luckily, it wasn't like it was the only few moments of that game where he was like, oh, Lord, here we go.
Yep.
Because he was just waiting the entire game of like, okay, how long is this going to last? But fortunately, they just kept balling, bro. It was like, oh.
Balling, man.
Like, next thing I know, I looked at it was like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, what the? We about to win this.
They answered my football gods, answering my goal, answering my prayers in resounding fashion. So here's a question I have for you as we kind of wrap up. With this win, the trade deadline's tomorrow. We've already seen a lot of big trades. The Roquan Smith trade, the Christian McCaffrey trade to the Niners. We just saw Robert Quinn get traded to the Eagles. Also, fuck the Eagles. Can I? I'm not going to put this to the football gods. I'm not going to put it up to them because it's not that serious for me. But I would absolutely love for the Eagles to be undefeated when we play them and we somehow beat them.
Ooh.
I wouldn't even care what our record is. Wouldn't even care. Like, I just need to.
Oh, that's a tall order right there, boy.
Is it though?
Yeah. Have you seen us play the Eagles the last few years?
I have, bro. I have. But let me. This is it's all relative, right? Because hear me out. I know this is looking way forward in the future, but hear me out. If Sean is healthy, you put Marshawn on AJ Brown. You put Alante on Devonta Smith, and you just try to muck up things the best you can for Jalen, bro. Is it easy? No, it's not. But I'm just saying, like, that's a wish. I'm not sending it up to the heavens, but I wish they are undefeated when we play them. So we can knock them.
I would love it. Like, just the fact that, them beating us.
I don't want Howie to get the satisfaction to beat the Saints in the regular season and also potentially end up with a high draft pick.
Well, the higher pick is like, getting that higher pick. It just makes it even more special, I don't want that.
Anyway, I don't either. So, a question I have for you. You know how teams and front offices do things in a very emotional way sometimes, right? So, perfect example. If a team thought about maybe doing a little fire sale before Sunday's game, maybe taking some calls on some of their players, what have you, but they went on Sunday, right? And maybe like in that moment, they're like, oh shit, like we won. Like shit, maybe we might be better than we thought we were. And so they start having more of a short-sighted line of thinking than long-term line of thinking. So say that to say this. There are some players that have come up in trade talks for the Saints. If you were the Saints, Adam Schefter has mentioned like Marcus Davenport before, right? So let's use him as an example. Should Sunday's performance And the fact that you play in the NFC South, and the NFC South is absolutely fucking trash, and the team that is the leading the NFC South, you beat them in week one. Week one. Should that change your perception of maybe potentially what you were potentially thinking of doing prior to Sunday's game?
No, shouldn't change anything.
So if you had conversation with teams about maybe trading Marcus Davenport for draft picks,
yeah. I mean, if you had those conversations, it obviously has more to do with one game. So
it does.
I mean, it's
but consider, I'm not just saying this for the Saints, because I think teams around the NFL as a whole do shit like this, right?
Oh yeah,
it's
no question.
It's not just a Saints thing, or vice versa, right? You could have teams that maybe like teetering, and like they're like, oh, but we were competing, and then like on Sunday they get like fucking blown out, or they get like just they get destroyed. Yeah. They're like, oh shit, like we trash. Like, okay, we gotta put a fire sale out. I'm gonna throw something at you, and I don't know if he's actually on the block. A person whispers about it though, and I don't even love him as like a player, but I think he could do really well in this offense. And I'm again, because I'm thinking long term, right? It's not just this season; it's long term. What would you give up for T.J. Hawkinson?
Ooh. I'd give him a...
What'd you give Dan Campbell? And Brad Holmes?
I'd give up a... I don't know what our picks look like, but I'd give up
we have our second next year.
Second.
But we don't have our second 2 years from now.
Right. I wouldn't give up a second. I just don't think his impact would be enough to warrant that, even long term. But I would give up a fourth, maybe even the third. I don't know what we have. The third round or whatever. I
think I would easily give up a third.
Yeah.
I would give up a third and do that pretty comfortably. But it'll be interesting to see what just not the Saints, but just kind of what teams around the league do tomorrow as the trade deadline approaches. I don't even know what time it closes or whatever. And see if does anything from this past Sunday changes teams' perceptions of like, okay, we were going to trade this player, but then we won on Sunday, so then like maybe we should not trade him because maybe we can get back into it. Teams just operate like that, man. That's just how they do things. But did Sunday's game outcome change your perception of the team, like the team season?
Man, that's a tough question, bro. I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, I don't know. I'll just put it like this. They did check a box for me. They checked the box to if I were to believe that this team can turn it around, they checked the box that would make me believe it. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but they did something that would make me believe it. I just got to see it, bro. I got to see. Show me something against the Ravens. Show me something. You know what I'm saying? Show me you can handle a good team, a good, well-coached team that, they're not perfect, but, they're a good team. They can beat anybody. Show me you can go up there. You can let them come down here and handle up. Show me. Then maybe I start being like, oh, I don't know, maybe this team. They Carmelo Anthony look like, oh, I don't know.
I think if they could beat the Ravens, we all making that Carmelo, like you just said, brother. Carmelo Anthony, like,
oh, okay. Other than that, this Raiders game is just a flash in the pan, Right. Even Jim Haslett had games like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you get a game like this. So we'll see, bro. Like, it's so like this team had so many issues, but it also showed you this game here. It's like, man, they got some talent on this team, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, there's no really good reason this team should be bad. Maybe not a Super Bowl team, because there are questions at quarterback. But there's no reason this should be a bad team, picking top 5 top team. You know what I'm saying? Like, talent-wise, that should not be the case.
Here's the thing, though. Talent-wise.
Talent-wise.
But not great coaching to
No.
bad coaching is hard to overcome.
Hard to overcome, bro. Hard to overcome.
And that's all I'm gonna say. You know, we beat the DA drum enough. I'm not gonna beat him down.
Let him have his little flowers this week, man.
He did, and I will say, this past Sunday was the best defensive game plan I've seen all season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you have to contend with trying to shut down Devontae Adams. You had to contend with trying to shut down Josh Jacobs. I know Darren Waller didn't play, but Josh Jacobs at that point had been going off all season. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. I don't know what it is, bro, about Devontae Adams, bro, but DA always got a game plan for his ass.
Always.
Don't he?
Always.
Don't he?
Interesting.
Right? Anyway, we rattled on for almost close to an hour. This should be up. Hope it'll be up tomorrow morning. So that's Tuesday morning. So you guys can finally listen to it. We apologize for not doing it sooner, but after the game on Sunday, the logistics of the situation did not work it out.
It did not work.
Could not. You know, we was enjoying the city, man. Like I don't apologize about that. I don't.
Hell no.
They won. We were enjoying the city. It was like kind of our last night together, us all being together. So we just did our thing and enjoyed. But truly, again, thank y'all for everything. Everyone in the Patreon, everyone in the community, thank y'all. I don't want people to feel a certain way if you listen to the podcast and you download the podcast and you're not Patreon, that we're not including y'all in it, because we want to thank y'all for listening to us, for downloading, for continuing to
interacting, everything, man.
All that. I am not trying to ostracize y'all out at all. I want to make that clear, but I also want to give flowers to the community as a whole for everything that happened this weekend. I truly mean it when I say it was one of the best weekends of my life. And I won't say the scary thing, but like it's probably going to be bigger next year, right? We had like 26, 27 people total at the party. It's probably going to be bigger next year. Like I said, me and Elise are already working out shit, thinking of ideas. So like we're in it, man. We are in it to go 100%. Thank y'all. We'll be back on Monday. Is the game. We'll be back a little later in the week. We'll preview the Monday Night Football game against the Ravens, and then the live stream will be back next Monday. Us all watching the Ravens game together on Zoom in person. So everything back to some normalcy for a while. But thank everyone for all the support. We truly appreciate y'all. And what a win. What a fucking win. We'll be back later this week to preview the Ravens game. With that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.